Before me stand over 50 designs that Storm has had in the main 616 Marvel comics, cartoons, movies, and video games. And since I am long overdue for a Storm Designs video, I'm not only gonna go over each of them, I'm also gonna rank them from best to worst. Right off the bat, we're starting off strong with the OG Weather Witch outfit, designed by her creators, Len Wein and Dave Cockrum themselves. You already know where this one is going, right up there to S tier. This is Hadari Yao. And they really did strike gold when they made this design. Not only does it work as a standard superhero outfit, but it's really unique when you break it down. Its top and bottom are connected by this ring. Her cape isn't a traditional cape, it's more of a cloak. They call it a poncho on her character sheet. The tiara and the ruby really bring the whole thing home. That one little drop of red for the ruby really stands out. And her whole design really demonstrates how less is often more. The long flowing white hair is also very striking. And I know that the textured cloudy hair is more of the vogue these days, but you gotta admit, that OG hairstyle was iconic. It's also very sexy without being tasteless. Then we've got Rogue Storm, or Rage Goddess Storm as some people refer to her. This form is technically a one and done, although some people do connect it to her Black Vortex look, which we'll be going over later. I kinda lean more to that as well, but for design purposes, we'll be covering them separately. I put Rogue Storm in Omega level, because even though we only spent one issue with it, it's still super hyper ultra effective. And the exact opposite of her traditional outfit. Instead of a tasteful amount of sexiness, this one is just bearing it all. But that's because this is Storm's I don't give a fuck form. Pure cosmic energy radiates from her eye sockets as her hair transforms into lightning. And all of the gold adornments that Doom had put on her now only punctuate her rageful regalness. If base Storm is to be adored, this Storm is meant to be feared. During an identity crisis, Storm spent some time in Japan with her friend Yukio, who helped her get in touch with a new part of herself, prompting an entire metamorphosis. To this day, this is one of Storm's most striking and defining looks. The swap from dramatic and regal Weather Witch to punk rock, complete with mohawk, is one that threw fans and her fellow X-Men for a spin. But I don't think it's one of her best looks. Not because the look itself doesn't work very well in my opinion, but because this template would be improved upon in many ways to come. So just by comparison alone, I have to put it in New Recruit. Then we've got her first Asgardian God of Thunder look. This one comes in two variants, one that has leggings and one that doesn't. I prefer the one with leggings. The one without just looks incomplete. I really like the big feathered ears and the mohawk, but the rigidness of the cape is kind of throwing it off for me. It's a good B. Then we've got her Outback look from the late 80s, early 90s, right after she got her powers back. The dawn of the bodysuit. This is the first of Storm's costumes where she's completely covered, but it doesn't detract from her beauty. In fact, it kinda highlights it because it's such a form-fitting suit that you really do see every groove and every curve in Storm's figure. But there are a couple details that I think really keeps it from really standing out. Sometimes the upper sleeves do this thing where they ruffle up, making her look like Supreme Kai from Dragon Ball Z or something. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the traditional cape versus the normal wrist attached cape. Makes her look like more of a generic superhero. I'm putting this look in Team Leader because it marks the return of Storm's big hair. She had been rocking the mohawk for years in the comics before this, so you can tell she just grew it out. I really like that aspect. She did come back to this outfit later on with short hair, and that look is much worse in my opinion. The big hair really does make this look. Also, the tomboyish pixie cut is one that really only works depending on who draws it. Sometimes it's fire, other times it looks like Storm's hairdresser hates her. So the short-haired version has to go down the New Recruit. There's her reverted back to kid form look, aka the Gambit Storm. This one has a couple variations. They work fine for seeing young Storm getting into some precocious adventures as she tags along with Gambit. But beyond that, I don't think it's anything special. Same thing with her blue and gold X-Men team uniform. And that's the point of it. A uniform is supposed to make you look like everyone else, but it really takes away from the uniqueness that is Storm. I am interested in seeing how X-Men 97 will adapt this outfit, but compared to the rest, it's pretty low on the list for me. But from damn near the bottom, we go right back up to the top for the gold team leader outfit. It takes everything that her Outbat look started to do and dials it up to 11, while also changing a few details to make the whole fit come together in a better way. We have 2 circular X-Men patches. A single gold band starts around her neck, goes down one side of her body, and ends at her belt, which is also gold. She ditched the gloves and is rocking the bare hands, but you know she kept them shoulder pads because you can't do 80s or 90s power suits without shoulder pads. And the hair is just beyond Omega levels of phenomenal. And the way that locks of hair would drape over her forehead and just barely kiss her face.
I fuck with that.
I like that.
I really fuck with that.
Hopefully Halle Berry will be coming back with the other Fox era X-Men for Doomsday and Secret Wars, and we can see this adapted for the MCU. If we can get a 90s comic accurate Cyclops, we can get a 90s comic accurate Storm. Storm's Savage Land look is an interesting one. Art of her and Rogue in their Savage Land attire has adorned many a desktops for decades now. Design-wise, it's pretty basic, but still effective. I especially like the Dino Tooth necklace and waist attachment. It's way too iconic to be anything lower than Team Leader, but way too basic to be anything higher. Moving on to her next outfit, we have Onslaught Storm, aka Sporty Storm. This look made its debut at the end of Storm Volume 1, Issue 4. After spending some time with the Morlocks in an alternate dimension, Storm gave herself a makeover. You've noticed that that's a theme with Storm. Basically, whenever she enters a new phase of her life, or when she's gone through a profound change, you can bet that her outfit will as well. And honestly, she needed one regardless, cause that basic black outfit she had in Volume 1 really isn't even worth covering for this tier list. But this outfit is putting in work. The exposed midriff and shoulders, the gold wrist guard and waistband, the black tattoos on her arms, and of course, the hair, with the 2 ribbons. This look would evolve into a couple different variants. One's basically the same with just a couple details changed. She would glove up and ditch the high heels for flats. And the line patterns on her leggings were cut out to expose just a teensy bit of thigh. Now this look really works, but it's only working in the 90s. She could be going to fight crime, stop an alien invasion, or be on her way to a Spice Girls concert. Her Age of Apocalypse look is extremely unique and extremely 90s anime. She really could roll up to Goku and crew talking about how she wants to smoke, and I'd believe it. This is Grandmaster Storm. And this may be a hot take, but I think this is one of her best looks. She even has the lightning bolt tattoo to really sell that whole edgy anime look. You know what? Fuck it. This is my list. It's Omega level. Feel free to tell me how my taste is trash in the comments if you don't like it.
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
But from damn near peak, we have damn near trash. The schoolgirl outfit. I mean, Emma Frost is the one that put her in this getup, so it actually makes sense that it's so horrendous. It just doesn't work at all. Not any piece of it. The random wedge platform boots with the X's right under the knees, I think are the highlight of this outfit. Or the low light, I guess. Thankfully, she wasn't in this getup for very long because even she hated this outfit. The only reason why I'm not putting it in Street Thief is because there are looks that are much worse than this. Let's talk about one right now. It's Sporty Storm 2.0, but with all the coolness sucked out. They went with a traditional hair and headdress, but it just clashes with the outfit. It really is a mishmash. And the hair isn't the only thing that looks out of place. These gauntlets, these Moonanite looking ass boots of hers, she looked like she just kneecapped a mobile suit from Gundam and just said, "Oh, these are my shoes now," and stuck her feet in them. And unlike Schoolgirl Storm, we stuck with this Storm for much more than one issue. So you're damn right, it's going down into Street Thief. Thankfully, we're going back to something that's actually good for her next look. A Christmas gift from Yukio, and it's a damn good one. This right here is a proper Storm look for the new millennium. She's got the ruby in the collar, a nice prominent lightning bolt going down the front, shout out to the Outback outfit, just the right amount of thigh, and lots of bold red for the inside of the cape. While not as iconic as some of her other looks from this decade, it's one of my personal favorites. The only thing keeping it from being even higher is the hair and the headband, but from the neck down, wouldn't change a thing. It does go against one of my earlier statements about lots of red, but because it's used more as an accent, I think it works. I call this next look Egyptian Storm, just because of the shape of the net piece. Also, the way the sash goes over her shoulder kind of makes me think of Egyptian as well. There was another variant of this outfit that had silver in place of all the gold. Many people will recall this outfit from an issue of Black Panther, when she and T'Challa declared their love for each other for the first time in their adult life. It's good, and it works, but I think it's best kept in the 2000s, definitely. Then, oh boy, we're back in the dregs again. Storm wore this one in Extreme X-Men while fighting in this arena, and they're all terrible. The red wig with the ponytail is terrible. The random WWE wig is terrible. And I know the whole point of the outfit was to be over the top, but they accomplished this mission just a little too well in my opinion. I might not rank it so low if it were only in one issue, but readers had to endure these ungodly assaults on the eyes for 4 whole issues. This title really is a mixed bag of designs, just like it's a mixed bag of storylines.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Let's talk about one of Storm's other Extreme X-Men looks, aka when she said fuck it and decided to join Neo in the Matrix. It's another one of those we don't want our superheroes to look like superheroes looks. I haven't read this run at all, so maybe there was a practical reason why everyone looked like this, but I just hate it. She just kind of looks like an agent. There's another Uncanny X-Men look from the early 2000s, or it may be the late 90s. This purple outfit doesn't hit nearly as well as her other one. Not to mention all these metallic pieces that just make it look way, way too busy. It's almost like the outfit's trying to be high fantasy or give off a medieval vibe. The whole outfit's just a metallic, overly ordained mess. Her next look, on the other hand, is as timeless as it gets. The first modern Weather Witch outfit that we've gotten. There are 2 versions of this specific outfit. One with full leggings and a sash around the waist, and another with thigh-high boots. The return of her proper crown, ruby clasp lovingly in the cleavage, and the gold accents on her cape are really just next level. She would bounce back and forth between this one and a similar purple outfit for the next few years. These were her looks for pretty much all of her marriage with Black Panther. The dark purple outfit with the silver trim is also the one she wore in X-Men Worlds Apart. And you know we can't talk about Storm's marriage to Black Panther without covering her Wakandan wedding outfit. You want to talk about regal? You want to talk about queen shit? It don't get no more queen shit than this right here.
Bow your shits!
We have the crown, which almost looks like it has feathers attached to it, the adornment of all the different African beads, the earrings, the train that goes on forever. No wonder they recently brought this outfit back from Marvel Rivals, because nothing can rival this fucking dress. Her astonishing X-Men look is another take on the classic Weather Witch, but just making it look more wild. This one's giving more alien priestess than Weather Witch though. I do love the off-white portions. I don't love the black and purple striped portions. And the crown makes it look even more like an alien. But I kinda like it for that reason. However,
There is another.
there's a version that has gold in place of all this black and purple. It saves this outfit and elevates it all the way to Omega status. You know what else is Omega level? The Uncanny X-Force outfit. It's got some modern Weather Witch themes while also being a return of the Mohawk. Easily one of her best looks of the 2010s, if not the best look of the 2010s. I mean, it had to be, because she wore this thing for so long. They gave her this hair in X-Men 97. In fact, this is a good time to bring up her X-Men 97 look, because it combined her Jim Lee Gold Team era leader outfit with this mohawk, but it really fits this look more than X-Men 97. Her extraordinary X-Men outfit is, it's kind of whatever. It has all these random X-Men circles, all in the upper body, the pure white leggings with no design in them at all, the random utility belt serves no purpose at all. Her updated Asgard look really works. It takes everything that I hated about the OG look and fixes it. She keeps the plated leggings on. The cape doesn't look like it'll get tied up in literally anything she does. Huge upgrade. This brings us into the Krakoa era. And her first Krakoa era outfit is definitely iconic. It's very minimalist, just a tiny hint of skin showing with the collarbone and cleavage. The gold traces and accents really make the whole outfit stand out. Same with the X in the navel. The headpiece is kinda meh, but I'll forgive it. Her Ten of Swords look is extremely clean. It's giving Nurse Storm, honestly. Like, this is Dr. Storm. It's solid, but definitely dwarfed by a lot of the other outfits she wore in this era. We have the Hellfire Gala outfit. This one just exists to stunt for stunt's sake. It is in your face, it is extra, and it says do something about it. The extra big for no reason lightning bolt behind her ear. I think this is the first time she's worn shoulder pads in decades. And damn if they haven't made a return. They all sparkly and shit. Same with the gold ringlets on her lower arm. And the high-heeled boots, with the heel looking like melted gold. This one was thrown together by Russell Dauterman. And with this look, he cemented his place in X-Men history. The idea to give her a black cloud with lightning flickers as a cape was just mwah! But of course, the piece de resistance for the whole thing. The introduction of the cloud hair. But then Russell showed us that he's not just here for the parties. And he showed us with the Brotherhood. And this right here is the final form of Punk Storm. The cloud hair pulled into a mohawk. The spiked shoulder padded jacket. The one-piece bodysuit with abs out, the spike-heeled boots, the knife affixed to her leg, the spiked knuckles, the chains, the neck rings, the face! Hadariao, obviously. Real quick, we gotta hop over to the Ultimates universe, because in Ultimate Black Panther, we got this number here. Peach Momoko designed this take on Storm. She said she wanted to go with something that combined both modern and tribal looks. Mission most definitely accomplished, ma'am. I don't know enough about Ultimate Black Panther to know the specific significance of all these different clothing articles, but the look has vibes, you can't deny that. After the fall of Krakoa, she would return to Earth and join the Avengers, giving us this piece of pieces. She also rocks this look in her current ongoing series by Murewa Ayodele. I love how she kept the extra big thunderbolt from her Hellfire Gala outfit, but also still put thunderbolts on her waist. It's another minimalist outfit, and I think Storm works best with these type of outfits. And out of all of her current looks, I think this one is the most restrained. We got more neck rings with her mother's ruby in the center, more abs out because of course, and a solid color scheme. And of course, we got that cloud hair. For a look that debuted in Murewa's Storm, we have her white bodysuit, which kind of looks like a more futuristic version of her old 80s and 90s bodysuits. It's extremely clean looking, and I mean that literally and figuratively. Like, this outfit is spotless, and it's the first time I've seen her with a gold tiara. We're also introduced to her vibranium armor in this series, and the mad lad Luciano Vecchio is to thank for this one. I love all the different uses of spikes and triangles to really help sell the fact that this is when Storm is not fucking around. But there's also an X or two on the outfit, and that makes me think of her X-Men roots. Then we've got the gnarliest headpiece Storm's ever worn. The piece de resistance for this look though is the face paint that glows blue when she's using her powers. What could possibly beat this look? We've got the big hair. we've got the neck rings, which aren't rings, they're more like gold, solid gold wrapped around her neck and collarbone. Her entire outfit is very cosmic, obviously. The fabric of the universe itself has wrapped around our beloved Aurora. Thighs and buttocks out because who gon' check her? Sometimes this look is drawn with flat boots, other times she has wedges. I definitely prefer the wedges with the spike heel. And instead of a cape, she has this train of ethereal wonderment. There's also a black variant that she dons at the very end of the Thunder War. Everything I'm saying about this, just replace the white parts with black. And of course, we got more electrified face paint, but this one has dots instead of lines, as well as a nice big circle on her forehead, which definitely gives third eye vibes. It is pure cosmic power, but with some regalness still retained. Real quick, I gotta talk about her Hellfire Vigil outfit, another masterpiece by Luciano Vecchio. The whole outfit is a huge tribute to Michael and Janet Jackson. The Jacksons aren't the only musical homage here, because this is all types of Welcome to the Black Parade. Shout out My Chemical Romance. I love how her headpiece harkens back to early Krakoa era, but she has her crown designed on her biker hat. Some looks are too good to only come up once, and in my opinion, this is one of them. We also recently got Primal Storm in the Rogue Storm miniseries. It's partially a callback to her Savage Land days, but more proper warrior. This is Storm at her roughest. Storm at her pure survivalist. We've got the return of some ritualistic body paint, some foot wraps, and a loincloth. This look is actually the tattered remains of one of her X-Men outfits. So you really get the idea of a grungy Storm who's been surviving, killing, being brutal. And last but not least for our comic book looks, we gotta talk about the Black Vortex. It's another very cosmic look. Originally, it was all black with gold trim. Her headdress literally becomes alive and turns into horns. The discs that adorn her outfit are actually a nod to Jack Kirby, who would always use those dots whenever he drew cosmic energy. When it was first shown, it was only Storm's potential, but because Murewa has zero chill, he went and made it an actual form for Storm. His take on Black Vortex Storm does look different, but it's definitely the same form. The hair is still fire, although this one is pink fire instead of yellow and orange fire. There are fewer Kirby discs on her outfit, and she has reddish brown skin. I love how this outfit makes her look demonic. This look is just pure raw power, but for that reason, it has to go into Hadari Yao. And that wraps up all of the comic book looks.
But I'm not done yet!
We got cartoons, video games, and live action movies to talk about. For Halle Berry's tenure as Storm, we have 4 different looks. Her X1 and X2 looks are so similar, I'm counting them the same. Solid black bodysuit with a cape. It's very basic, very early 2000s superhero movie, very...
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
I do like how they gave her hair more volume in X2, so I'll put it in New Recruit. Now her X3 look, I think out of all the Halle Berry looks, that's the best one. But I do like how they finally let her go full pupilless in X3. X-Men Days of Future Past was the last time we saw Halle Berry play Storm. There's no attitude, there's no flair, there's no sex appeal. And I get it, this was the end of the world, but it looks so much like standard tactical superhero attire. It's just boring as hell. It's saved from going into Street Thief because it's a proper Storm cape, unlike her old Foxman cape, which was just a regular cape. Alexandra Shipp's Storm has 3 different looks. Her Horseman look actually looks like something you would see Storm wear. It's not comic book accurate, but definitely comic inspired. And the fact that she's rocking a mohawk is a plus. Yes, it's a shorter mohawk, but we'll take what we can get. Pickens was slim in these years. Grading this look on a curve for the movies, I gotta put it in Team Leader. At the end of X-Men Apocalypse, we see the new team all donning much better outfits. She has a wrist-attached cape, a red ruby in the breast piece, some appropriately powerful shoulder pads. Out of all the live-action suits we've gotten so far, it's easily the best. And now we gotta talk about the worst.
What kind of fuckery is this?
It's obviously an homage to her blue and yellow outfit from the comics, as were all of their outfits in Dark Phoenix. But I don't know whose idea it was to put them in these shits. I thought y'all left these shits back in first class. There's no personality in them at all, no individuality. It took all of the goodwill from the end of X-Men Apocalypse and flushed it down the drain like the turd that these suits are. A lot of Storm's cartoon appearances are just animated versions of existing outfits, but she does have 3 unique ones that I'm gonna go over here. First, we gotta talk about X-Men Evolution. This outfit doesn't have a traditional cape or a wrist-attached cape, it's more of a cloak that operates as a cape. The dark blue works well with her appropriately dark skin, and I really like the slouching gloves and boots here. Normally I wouldn't like that look for Storm, but I think it really fits this art style. And again, it's minimalist. Thank you, Lord. She has wavy hair with a lot of volume here, and it's giving older Storm. This is Mentor Storm here. Easily her best animated look. Her Wolverine and the X-Men look, however, it's just kind of there. I think the headpiece is way too big, and maybe I'm biased because I'm not a huge fan of this art style, but it just doesn't work. Weirdly enough, she looks better when she's just in her regular tribal outfit. Then we've got Anime Storm, obviously done during the height of the Foxmen, so it's very much modeled after Halle Berry. The clothes I like for the most part. I am gonna deduct several points for how unstorm-like she is in the face. Halle Berry can't help the way she looks. They can help the way they draw Storm. If this were not Storm, she'd look fine. But this is supposed to be Storm. This barely looked like Storm little sister. So it's gotta go in New Recruit. In Marvel's What If Season 4, we meet Storm, mistress of the cosmic elements. It's not a direct adaptation of any of her comic Asgardian looks. It's more in line with the design language of Thor and the other MCU Asgardians. Like, you could put this on almost any Asgardian and it would look right. For that reason, I'm putting it in New Recruit. And finally, we've got to talk about her video game outfits. The Legends series on PS2 gave Storm this piece. It's okay, but the gold is way too bold. Having her entire gauntlets and boots be gold was not a good choice in my opinion. Other than that, the outfit is pretty basic, but I do love her epic as all hell hair. Also, while editing this video, I realized that this is just her look from the Ultimate X-Men comics in the early 2000s, and it looks way better in the comics. Still not a great look, but I would at least put it in Team Leader instead of New Recruit like I did here. There'll be a picture of a redone tier list at the end of the video with this entry in its proper place. Storm had 2 original outfits in Midnight Suns. Her base black look and then her more gold Bloodstorm look. I think her Bloodstorm outfit utilizes gold much better than her Legends look. The runes are also a really nice touch. Overall, way more thought was put into this outfit. They even utilized the gold headpiece. You can tell they were inspired by modern live-action superhero looks. Definitely a lot of MCU-ification going on here with all these lines and whatnot. But it doesn't take away from the outfit. The same can't be said for her default Midnight Suns look. It's very plain and generic looking. Almost looks like an unused design from the Foxmen era, with just a tad more personality. Her hair is also horrendous in this game. Her Marvel Mystic Mayhem look is one that I really want to like. I love all the lightning patterns in her leggings and her midsection. And all the different engravings really help the outfit look more mystical. But those huge rings on her wrists and the overabundance of pinks and purples in her makeup and upper chest piece just make everything look too busy for me. Clean it up and you got a fire outfit. As it stands, nah. Her base Marvel Rivals look is very much modern superhero. Highly designed, highly detailed. I do really dig the hair. The whole outfit though, it's giving MCU vibes. Her Mohawk look I am gonna cover. They were cooking with all the gas when they came up with this hairstyle. The braids into spiky mohawk with ponytail, that shit is peak. I don't care how much you hate the punk rock look, but that's easily the best part of the outfit, so it can't go any higher than team leader. Her symbiote look, it is the best version of symbiote Storm that I've ever seen, and because it's such a vast improvement on a concept that hasn't been done nearly as well before, I have to put it in team leader. They could have easily just slapped a Venom spider on her, made her black, gave her a big ass jaw and called it a day. But they actually went through the process of designing a well done costume for her. It does veer into Spawn territory, but I'm okay with that. Spawn has a dope design. But definitely, her Asgardian Goddess of Thunder look, peak Asgardian Goddess of Thunder. You get to play Storm with a blue lightning afro. What's not to love? The armor is also designed to look more like something Storm would actually wear. Almost like Storm designed this herself. The others look more like Asgardian armor that Storm just happened to wear. This one was custom made for Storm, down to the cape. And of course, we've got Marvel Tokon Soul's Storm. Arxis understood the assignment and then some with this Storm design. From the nice chocolatey skin to the light blue eyes, the big volume flowing hair. Her hair straight up looks like animated wind gusts. And the outfit's firing on all cylinders. The wrist attached cape, just the right amount of gold accents. Crown adornment, thank you Jesus! The only thing killing this one for me is the feet. I'm not gonna lie, man, it's the feet. I think they're way too chunky, and the random black toe with the yellow on it is just like, meh. I feel like they were cooking with this outfit till they got to her ankles. Then they just said, just do whatever. And there you have it. The Storm Design tier list to end all Storm Design tier lists. I know it took me forever and a day to get this video out, but every time I would sit down and think, alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the Storm Design video. I know people have been asking for this for years, and it just never seemed like enough. I had to go all in for this one, and you guys deserve it. Now, I did leave a lot of looks out. Yes, even this is maybe close to half of Storm's looks. There's all of her what if looks, her alternate timeline looks, and that's not even including a lot of the PS2 and 3 video games. But I didn't want to keep this one from you guys. You deserve the best, Storm deserves the best. So if you want me to follow this video up with all the looks I left out, comment below and let me know. And tell me what you think of the final tier list as well. And then click on this video right here to get more Weather Witch Goddessness in your life. And until next time, you better keep right on simping.